What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video I'm discussing text messages from Hadi's coach Hany Rambod to Hadi Choopan regarding where not to inject and was it Synthol he was talking about, all revealed by Hadi's former manager's brother on Instagram, plus is Nick Trigili accusing Iain Valliere of using Synthol, plus much more. I hope you guys enjoy this video. What's up, Desktopers? Now, before I get into this one, I want to encourage you guys, if you like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, including bodybuilding news, interviews, contest coverage, and the all new podcast on this channel as well. We don't have a name for it yet, but we're actually naming it in the second episode. Well, technically the third episode, as we did a bonus episode where we previewed a show and we did some additional listener questions as well. It's featuring myself, Nathan Diasha, Brett Wilkin, and Martin Fitzwater, so make sure you do check that out. But let's get straight into this one now. Now, the former manager of Hadi Choopan, Mahdi Parsafar, his brother Hadi Parsafar, which is, obviously a coincidence being the same name as Hadi Choopan, he's been posting up a ton of stuff on his Instagram page. A lot of it obviously I can't understand because it's in Arabic, but he did post up an actual screenshot of a text message conversation, it looks like on WhatsApp, between Hadi Choopan, it says Hadi Choopan 2, which is maybe like his second phone or something, Hany Rambod, and then whoever actually screenshot this, whether it was actually Hadi Parsafar or if it was actually Mahdi, who's his brother, who was actually Hadi Choopan's manager until recently, where Hadi Choopan actually basically got rid of him as his manager, copyrighted him on a few videos as he was actually posting a ton of stuff for Hadi Choopan on his YouTube channel, but that stuff I think has been taken down now. So this message here is from the 27th of July 2021, and I can't imagine what the actual motivation is for posting this up as well, by Hadi's former manager now's brother. Whether he's just jilted and annoyed and wanting to get back at Hadi Choopan for whatever reason, for Hadi letting go of his manager. I don't know if that's the sole reason or if there's some other deeper reason to this. I have no idea whatsoever. But basically, Hany Rambod says on the 27th of July last year, almost a year ago now, "Team, please tell Hadi to stop injecting his shoulders. His right shoulder looks very swollen and bad. The judges will mark him down." Hadi Choopan sends a voice message. I don't know if it's 26 seconds or if it's 9 minutes and 50 seconds. You guys can see it on the screen there now. He says, again, Hany Rambod says, "I have said this so many times, don't inject the shoulders." And then Hadi sends another few voice messages back as well. I believe those voice messages only go for 26 seconds and 19 seconds, and that's the actual time that they were sent. So super, super interesting that this was actually posted up by Hadi Choopan's former manager's brother. So it seems like basically they're annoyed and they're just basically trying to air any sort of dirt on Hadi Choopan. And obviously they know the big thing around Hadi Choopan has been his delts and them looking suspect and what's in them, is it Synthol, all that sort of stuff. And he made some remarks as well on his story, basically calling him stuff like the Synthol King and all that sort of stuff. So Generation Iron also reported on this as well, and they put the same screenshot up and they said Hany Rambod allegedly tried to stop Synthol use. Hadi Parsafar also shared alleged messages between Choopan and Hany Rambod showing the coach asking to stop injecting the bodybuilder with this substance. So I assume he's talking about Synthol, but I didn't see anything about Synthol in that message just there. It says Rambod has been quite instrumental in Choopan's career as of late as his training coach, which coincides with his latest string of high-placing Mr. Olympia showings. So I didn't see anything in that message unless the Arabic writing there implies that it was actually talking about Synthol or whatever, but none of those messages there from Hany Rambod talks about Synthol use. Now, would Hadi have actually injected his shoulders before? Absolutely. Most pro bodybuilders, if not all, or 99.9%, have injected their shoulders. They have to put what they're actually taking somewhere inside their body. Some guys do subcutaneous shots of stuff like that, like oils, but I've heard a lot of people getting lumps and all that sort of stuff from that. Most people do intramuscular injections. Now, it seems like Hadi Choopan has done that, whether it's just shots of gear and scar tissue that's built up, because it doesn't seem to go down, especially his left delt. Now, it actually mentions in his text messages about his right delt, but I noticed his left delt a lot more, that sticks up a little bit more, and I mean, I don't think he's injecting it continuously to keep them like this. Obviously, we know it's an issue. This was a year ago almost where Hany was saying, don't inject the shoulders. And maybe he noticed in a physique update and like a thing that was sent to him, you know, the right shoulder's a little bit more pumped up. And he said, guys, like, you know, just tell him to stop injecting his right shoulder or his shoulders in general because the right one is swollen, which is fair enough from a coach. And, you know, any good coach should actually do the same thing. And I even said this in previous videos, that Hany Rambod would be on top of this and he would be, you know, making these calls. Now, I think it's ridiculous that Generation 9 have said that if, you know, there's no other messages that they've seen or if that Arabic writing doesn't say anything about it, because they're not talking directly about Synthol in this text message conversation. So then Iain sort of came to Hadi's defense a little bit under a post by Buyers and Tries about this whole Hadi thing and letting go of his manager. And Iain says, lol, like everyone's favorite, 90s bodybuilders weren't filled to the absolute gills with Essaclean, Xylitol, and SEOs. SEO stands for Site Enhancement Oils. This is bodybuilding. Literally nothing about it is natural. And even lots of guys who aren't obviously using it still likely are. This is a visual sport. There's no bonus points for how hard you work or how you attain the look. Hadi is certainly one of the top bodybuilders on the planet and one of the most popular. An ex-manager trying to ruin his name with this nonsense is petty and pathetic. So I'd pretty much agree with everything Iain said just there, but Bodybuilding and BS, which is Nick Trigili, had a response to this and says, at Iain Valliere, where do you put your oil then? Delts, arms, question marks after both of those. Then Iain says, calves, stuff must be fake, they're still small. So Iain sort of self-deprecating a little bit there. And then Nick says back, which is a bodybuilding and BS account, says, at Iain Valliere, well, whatever you're putting in your delts and arms, you should put it in your calves then. So I'd say Nick Trigili is sort of accusing him, whether it's of Synthol or whatever he's putting in his delts and arms, he should put in his calves. Now, he actually did obviously make the comment first, says, where do you put your oil then, delts or arms? You could say this is a compliment to Iain, saying your delts and arms are big. Or you could say this is your delts and arms aren't really defined. So I went back and looked at some photos of Iain Valliere through the years. So I've got this one from 2011. You can see his biceps here. They're not overly detailed. His delts stick up a long way as well, but I think it's just sort of the way he's posing, to be honest. And then I went to 2015 at his second pro show. You look at the biceps, really sort of the same. Not a lot of detail in them there either. Then you go down and look at this photo. Not a huge amount of detail through the delts as well. And then you go down to this 2019 versus 2021 comparison. And really, it sort of seems to say the same. Like, he never has really had a huge amount of detail in his biceps from 2011 all the way now to 2022. So it's been 11 years. So whether he might have used something back in the day, you know, early days, in the biceps or in the shoulders or whatever, but I don't think guys really use much in terms of SEOs in the shoulders, because if you're putting it in shoulders, you're going to lose a lot of detail on it. Guys sort of use that as an oil injection spot, and I don't mean it's site enhancement oil. I mean literally like, you know, testosterone and all that other stuff as well. So I think that, you know, obviously bodybuilders have to pin somewhere. If they pin the same spot too many times, you build up some scar tissue, and then that sort of can ruin an appearance. And I think that's all Hadi's delts are. Maybe he used something else in there, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Has Hadi Choopan got Synthol in his delts? What do you think about Hadi's ex-manager's brother actually releasing these text messages? I think it sort of sucks. Private text messages should stay private and confidential. But, you know, obviously you could say that I'm sharing it out here, but it's been posted already. It's been shared around. So it is what it is, and it's already out there now, unfortunately, for these guys. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And that's it for this video. If you guys like and appreciate this content, please give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. So that's it for this one. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.